Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Illinois. Let's hear it for my partner in governance and the best lieutenant governor this state's ever had, Julia Stratton. And thank you to our heroic junior senator who's fighting for us every day in Washington, D.C., Tammy Duckworth. I'm J.B. Pritzker, and I'm going to beat Donald Trump's candidate for governor, Darren Bailey. To my soulmate for more than 30 years, a person who represents Illinois with grace and kindness, who quietly works to lift up people all across our state. Words can't express my admiration and respect for the love of my life, the First Lady of Illinois, M.K. Pritzker. To the best campaign team in the entire nation, led by my campaign manager, Mike Olin, and to all of our volunteers, especially the young people who are registering voters and walking precincts and making phone calls, thank you for fighting for our shared democratic values and helping move our state forward. Four years ago, I stood before you and told you that we would raise the minimum wage and put more money into the pockets of everyday Illinoisans. Today, the minimum wage has been raised to $15. And with prices rising because of global inflation, we're providing $1.8 billion in tax relief to working families. 4 years ago, I told you that we would invest in our children by increasing funding for K-12 and higher education. And today, K-12 education funding has increased by more than $1 billion. And we're providing more scholarships than ever before for college and vocational training. 4 years ago, I told you that we'd fix crumbling roads and bridges and create more good-paying union jobs by passing a history-making infrastructure bill. Well, today, nearly 4,000 miles of our roads and 400 bridges have already been repaired or replaced. We're modernizing our airports, we're building new river ports, and we're upgrading rail transportation so that we can move our people and our goods faster and more efficiently than ever before. Illinois is now the #1 state in the nation for infrastructure. 4 years ago, I told you that we'd reverse the fiscal damage that Bruce Rauner did to this state, that I would end his hostage-taking of the budget, reverse his credit downgrades, and improve our state's finances. Today, we've had 4 balanced budgets in 4 years. We eliminated the state's billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar bill backlog. We put $1 billion in the state's rainy day fund. We reduced our state's pension liability, and now we've received 6 credit upgrades. 4 years ago, I said that we would support small businesses, make smart investments in technology and innovation, lift up our farmers and our agricultural economy, and provide incentives for companies to create jobs throughout our state. Well, today, Illinois ranks as one of the fastest growing states in the nation for new business startups, and our tech and ag industries are burgeoning. 4 years ago, I said that we'd fight climate change aggressively and imminently. Well, today, on the heels of enacting a comprehensive, nation-leading Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, we're seeing expanded energy production and countless new clean energy jobs. 4 years ago, I said that we would restore the ranks of the state police and commit to long-term funding to bolster public safety in communities that have been historically overlooked. Well, today, we've launched the largest and most diverse new cadet classes in state history, and we're investing more than ever before to address the root causes of violence. Violence interruption programs, youth job opportunities, historic partnerships between our state police and local communities. 4 years ago, I said we would legalize marijuana. Today, cannabis is safe and legal in Illinois. And we've used the tax revenues generated by it to reinvest in the communities that were hit the hardest in the failed war on drugs. And 4 years ago, Illinois, no one knew that we would face a once-in-a-century pandemic that would threaten our health and safety and economic well-being. But today, we stand as a leader in the Midwest for our handling of the pandemic. Together, we followed the science. We made tough decisions, saving thousands of lives with masks and vaccinations during the deadliest months of the pandemic. Four years ago, I stood before you on primary night, and I told you that I'm a Democrat because of my mother. She was a woman ahead of her time, an activist for social, economic, and racial justice, marching for reproductive rights, the Equal Rights Amendment, and LGBTQ rights. My mom's been gone for 40 years now. Those of you who have lost a parent at a young age know how cruelly time can steal memories. But the voice of a person we loved and lost is like a favorite old song. Sometimes you forget the lyrics, but you can always remember the melody. And last Friday, when the Supreme Court overturned Roe, I could hear my mother's voice once again. And you know what she said? Hell no. I know that we're facing a struggle in the heart of our nation right now. We Democrats play by the rules. We respect our democracy. We honor the results of our elections. We compromise and we work across the aisle on issues that voters care about. We want to believe that surely the GOP can come together with us and agree on common sense things that will make life easier and better for most Americans. But it seems like lately, every time we extend a hand to the other side, it's met with scorn. And we feel like Charlie Brown looking back at Lucy holding the football. Look, I'm an optimistic guy, I think you all know, and I don't want us to lose our hope. And I won't let us reduce our efforts to build a better, less divisive political climate. We owe that to our children and our grandchildren. But in the face of what's happening in this country today, in the face of what the Supreme Court and the radical right wing are trying to do to the fundamental rights of every American, we owe something else to our children and grandchildren. We owe it to them to win. so that they can inherit a future worthy of this great state. For so long, Illinois has been held hostage by special interests, by spelunkers for misery, by Republican politicians and their carnival barkers who seem to take a special pleasure in bad-mouthing the state at every opportunity. We have problems here, just like everywhere else, and we need to confront them boldly and honestly. We need to be willing to put in the years-long work required to face our most entrenched challenges. But if you want to be the governor of Illinois, well, we have a new rule. To lead this state, you have to love every part of it. You have to love the streets and neighborhoods of Springfield, a city from which Abraham Lincoln launched his political career. You have to love Morton, the pumpkin capital of the world, and Decatur, the epicenter of some of the most bountiful land on earth. You have to marvel at that breathtaking view of the hills of Little Egypt, driving Route 37 south from Goreville. You can't help but be inspired by the morning sun glinting off the calm and ancient waters of the Cache River. You have to love Macoupin County, where Mother Jones raised hell and organized workers. And Alton, with its steep brick streets, where the Mississippi River bends west to east, where Elijah Lovejoy became a martyr for his unwavering belief in the abolition of slavery and the free press. And yes, Darren Bailey, you have to love Chicago. With its deep dish and Italian beef, with the Cubs and the Sox, with the summers that make you forget the winters, and the people who remind you every day of the promise this country was founded upon. And if you don't love all the many and varied regions of Illinois, you won't stand up and fight for it. Politicians, time and again, have tried to divide Illinoisans for political advantage. Too many have been willing to pit one region against another to try to win an election. It's a cheap play that takes little effort. Illinois shouldn't be gamed. Its people are not to be sacrificed for electoral. You have to love all 13 million of the people that lived here, regardless of how they vote. And just for the record, Mayor Irvin, that is what J.B. Pritzker wants you to be talking about. The people of Illinois elected me because they were ready to turn the page on the past, and I owe them nothing less than an unrelenting fight for the future. A few days ago, Donald Trump came to our state, and he did what he does best: spew bile on the ground and hope that it takes root in our soil. And proudly standing by his side was the Republican nominee for governor of Illinois, Darren Bailey. Let me be clear. Someone who seeks out and accepts the endorsement of a racist, misogynistic, homophobic, xenophobic, twice impeached former president does not deserve to come anywhere near this state's highest office. Darren Bailey cannot side with the insurrectionists at the Capitol, assert that the 2020 election was stolen, and say that women and their doctors should be jailed for having an abortion, even in cases of rape and incest, and expect to be handed the keys to the governor's office. Not in Illinois. We're the land of Lincoln, the home state of Barack Obama, the birthplace of the Jane Collective. We were the first state to ratify the end of slavery and the start of women's suffrage. And for those who need reminding, Illinois fought with the Union in the Civil War. Darren Bailey does not represent Illinois values. I believe in this state and our pragmatic, tough, kind, and genuine people. Just like the glaciers thousands of years ago that forged Illinois' rolling prairies and rich farmland, the challenges that we've overcome have made us strong. I believe deeply in the fundamental rights of every person to live a life of their own design, with acceptable, accessible health care, quality education, safe schools, clean air, reproductive freedom, and civil rights. A place where people can be who they are and love who they love without fear. I believe in a country where leaders elected to make things better for you spend every day fighting the real fights for you, not the fake ones. I believe in electing people who know it's not fair to ask you to work 3 jobs to afford 1 home, who will fight for wages that outpace inflation, who will foster an environment that will help entrepreneurs to start and grow businesses, and an education that gets you ahead and not in debt. I believe we need to stop electing people who point fingers at whatever group doesn't look like them or sound like them or worship like them, and then blame that group for everything that is going wrong. The Darren Baileys of this world want us to feel alone in a struggle that we're all facing together. They want to distract us into believing that gay marriage, Black history, Disney World, and library books are more of a threat to our children than AR-15s and ghost guns. Elected leaders ought to have obligations to common sense, to justice, and to the truth. We are not ever going to put the LGBTQ community back into a closet. And we are not going to abandon the rights and freedoms of our Black and brown citizens because some GOP ad maker figured out how to spin a melody out of a dog whistle. And here in this state, we are not going back on a woman's right to choose. Abortion is safe and legal in Illinois, and as long as I'm governor, it will remain so. Because in this state, we trust women. We trust women to make health care decisions about their own bodies without government interference. That's why pro-choice legislators and activists work so aggressively and so effectively to remove the trigger laws here in Illinois. And it's why 3 years ago, I signed the Reproductive Health Act to guarantee a woman's right to choose. Democratic governors and Democratic legislators and Democratic attorneys general and elected Democratic state Supreme Court justices are the last line of defense in the preservation of freedom and democracy. We've held the line here in Illinois. We've made sure that this state remains an island of freedom among a rising sea of right-wing extremism. Democrats in our state, up and down the ticket, have lifted up working families, secured our civil rights, restored parents' rights to a well-funded, quality education for our kids, helped small businesses get started and create more jobs, lowered the cost of medication, and raised the quality of care for older Americans. It's tempting to say that we're lucky to live here in Illinois, but luck actually has nothing to do with it. Your votes did that. Because Illinoisans vote fervently in the name of progress, and your elected representatives understand that they answer to you. Yet the MAGA Republicans want to take us backward. So tonight, once again, I'm thinking about my mother, about her perseverance and her willingness to accept the status quo, unwillingness to accept the status quo. And I hear her voice in my head day after day these days saying, hell no. We will not go back. 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 We have only one path, and it leads forward. It has been a privilege to be your governor these last 4 years, and I take very seriously my responsibilities to you and your family, to your life and your liberty and your pursuit of happiness. So long as I'm your governor, Illinois will be a bulwark of progress and equity and justice. But beginning today, we are in a pitched battle between an extremist Republican Party clinging to the big lie and a failed insurrection, and a Democratic Party that offers strong leadership and a future of progress and possibility. We have a fight ahead of us, so I have one question for you, Illinois. Are you ready for the fight? Are you ready for the fight, Illinois? Let's go get them, everybody. Thank you.